Hey everyone, Hitesh here from ET's personal tech team, and what we have here is the brand new iPad 9.7 inch. Now this is the iPad which comes with Apple Pencil support. Apple calls it the 6th generation iPad. This was recently announced at an event in the US, and there are two storage versions available for this and a cellular version as well. So we'll get right into that. Let's start by showing you what we get in the box. Here's the iPad itself. It's very familiar if you use an iPad before. In terms of box contents, you just get the standard 10-watt charger, lightning cable, and the usual quick start guide. So nothing extraordinary there. Looks like the conventional 9.7 inch iPad. The reason it has this black bar on top is because this is the cellular version. The Wi-Fi only version does not have this black bar. The camera is flush with the back, and this is the silver version which has a black front, black bezels. We also have an iPad Pro here. So what we'll do is that we'll very quickly just compare the two, tell you the differences between the two. This is the iPad Pro 10.5 on the left and the iPad 9.7 on the right. I think you should be able to tell straight away in the video itself, but this one has an anti-reflective coating. This one does not, which is why it's reflecting so many lights, and as well as this light on top of the desk that you can see here that I'm using to give a little bit more light here. But so that's one difference that's straight off the bat that you can see. In terms of other differences, this is a little thicker in terms of the dimensions, although they do weigh the same. Both of them do weigh 469 for the both of them, whereas the cellular version weighs about 478 grams, so slightly more over there. Now we'll power this on and set it up and see. Hopefully we'll be able to show you a difference in screen size and just go around the devices and talk a little bit about the differences over there. So let's get right into the differences between these two. Now, they can probably be divided into 4 heads. The screen, that's a big difference right there. The performance, the design, and the cameras. Those are the things we can probably look at in terms of the differences between these two. Get rid of these pop-ups here. Right, so the screen on the iPad Pro, this is the 10.5, has features like ProMotion. There's an enhanced refresh rate, which actually has to be seen in person to see it. The difference that it makes, it is actually phenomenal in terms of the difference ProMotion can make. There's also a wide color gamut on this. This is does not have that. This is the P3 color gamut, so a lot more accurate in terms of the colors, especially if you're working as a professional on something. There is a True Tone feature on the iPad Pro here. So the True Tone looks at the ambient colors and adjusts the display accordingly. That is also very useful. You have to really see it to believe it. And of course, I did mention the anti-reflective and the laminated nature of this display versus this display. Now, in terms of resolution, they are both slightly different. This is a 9.7 inch 2048 by 1536 pixels. This is 10.5 inch 2224, that is 2224 by 1668 pixels. Now the reason for that slight difference is because both of them actually have the exact same pixel density, which is 264 pixels per inch. Now that obviously keeps it easy for app developers because the pixel density remains the same, even though the screen is a little bit larger over here. In terms of the differences around the device, here you will see these 3 little dots over here on this iPad Pro. That is the smart connector. This is compatible with smart keyboards that attach here magnetically, and they connect with a physical connection to the iPad Pro. The iPad 9.7 does not have that smart connector, so it is only compatible with Bluetooth keyboards. You can use Bluetooth, of course, on this as well. This has the advantage of both Bluetooth and smart connector. In terms of performance, this is the A10 Fusion chip. This is the A10X Fusion chip. So a pretty big jump up in terms of performance here. It also has much lower latency. Now, when you're using the Apple Pencil, here's the Pencil, you can switch between these two if you have them by just plugging it into the Lightning port. But the latency on the iPad Pro is something that has to be seen to be believed. It's a little slower on the iPad 9.7, but not something that you would notice until you have actually used the Pro. So that's as far as the differences are concerned. In terms of the price, you get the iPad Pro is starting at about 50,800, the 10.5, whereas this starts at a really low 28,000 only. There's a 32 GB variant, Wi-Fi only, which starts at 28,000. There is a 128 GB version of the iPad 9.7, which is 35,700. So 28 and 35,700 for the Wi-Fi versions, and there is the 4G, the cellular version in 32 GB, which is 38,600 in the 9.7 here, and 46,300 for the 128 GB Wi-Fi plus cellular version. So a fairly significant price difference. This would be more for the casual user who wants Apple Pencil support. It's great for students as well, and for casual users who really want to see what the Pencil is all about, what it can do in terms of all the drawing and note-taking apps. All the apps will be compatible across both of them, and so you can really get a feel for what the Apple Pencil is capable on the 9.7. But when you want to go the whole hog, when you want the absolute best experience of the iPad, the display and the Pencil, then you have to go for the iPad Pro, which starts at 50,800. So that's been it for the comparison of the two. Let us know if you have any questions. Reach out to us via Twitter or directly in the comments below. Thanks for watching.